Lere Olayinka, media aide to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, has challenged former Rivers State Governor Rufus to name one positive contribution he made to the state, accusing him of introducing violence and ethnic politics. Olayinka claims Adegeorge's legacy includes sponsoring the Bush Boys, militant group to settling political scores, as documented in the 2008 Rivers State Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. He alleges Adegeorge failed to resolve the Okrika chieftaincy crisis sided with shell against the Ogoni people during the 1993 protests and did not support his former deputy Peter Odili in later elections. Olayinka further criticizes Adegeorge for supporting suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara's unlawful action, such as running a 32-member House of Assembly with only 3 members and denying lawmakers their entitlements. Now, nearing 85, Adegeorge is accused of hypocrisy for blaming Wike for Rivers State political crisis while ignoring Fubara's violations and calling President Tinubu's intervention executive rascality. Olayinka urges Adegeorge to act with zero and stop promoting divisiveness. Olayinka have, over the past few days, throughout yesterday, he has been, coming hard on the former Rivers State Governor Rufus Adegeorge, following his comments that he said that Wike is the mastermind of Rivers State crisis. Let me get your reactions, Frank, as regards to this development. Well, the statement by Lere Olayinka.
It's defending his principle. That's the duty why he was employed to speak for the FCT minister. But for me, I feel now it should be time for fence mending, peace building, considering whether we believe it or not. The state of emergency declared in Rivers State. There's a time lag. It's a kind of conditional or not conditional, depending on the peace within the period. So I feel what is playing out now shouldn't be. As somebody is following what is happening, I feel that there should be no rancor and acrimony in terms of responding to sentiment. But whatever we are seeing now is about sentiment. Yes, we have political divisions in Rivers State, which shouldn't be in a way. But now that we have an administrator, by virtue of the declaration of state of emergency, I don't think that the so-called gladiators and whatever should begin to heat up the polity.
All right, Frank, so when you say sentiment, are you referring to the statement by the former governor of Rivers State, Rufus Adegeorge?
Both of them. I mean, both sides.
All right.
As it is now. See, by virtue of constitution is not being practiced in Rivers State. Sorry, let's not be frank.
All right.
Each time you have state of emergency, something has been suspended. Logically, the normal thing will not be done. Because under emergency, you don't expect the normal process to follow. Sorry, sometimes Nigerians would want to play the ostrich, or others would want to play the ostrich. The moment that
was the same statement that the minister's aide, the FCT minister's aide, said that Rufus Adegeorge is playing ostrich too. So what exactly is going on? Because so you're also doing the same line. So you're saying that, sorry to interject. Are you saying that Adegeorge now is playing the ostrich in this regard? Considering the fact that he has been there when the issue started, he didn't say anything, he's just coming up to say something now.
But that is the truth. See, that's the one unfortunate aspect of our democracy, that you are in power so far as you are doing what is not in order. People are praising you and you feel it is right. Now that's why I would say playing the ostrich. But even what is happening, is it how it should be? Politically today, Rivers State is losing economically. Sorry. You can imagine what happened about 2 weeks ago, where a South-Side Commission was established. Airport has moved to Akwa Ibom without our input. Sorry, without our input. But we are under emergency. So an emergency situation does not need a clear-cut agenda. Quote me anywhere. Even in America. Emergency does not need, you must follow what Nigerians will say due process in the law. No. For instance, the road or the door to this studio will never be the door to this studio if there is an emergency here now. Is it true? If I can access the wall to find myself out, I will do under emergency. So that's one logical issue that Rivers people and Nigerians have refused to understand, that during emergency period, you don't expect the right thing to be done, that you begin to say, oh, it's constitutional or not unconstitutional. As it is now, for me, I said somewhere, there's no constitutional issue now in Rivers State. But we are under emergency. The laws of the land can never follow what the people call the rule of law. Can never be followed now. But if it was like the issue of appointment, you want to screen, I think. Was anybody screened? And logically, the sole administrator is right. Because we are under what? Emergency rule, not constitutional rule. We must, I don't have to be a lawyer. I think I have a little knowledge of what you call jurisprudence. As it is today, Rivers State is under emergency. So you don't expect the normal legal process, the normal screening process to follow suit. It will not. Like I said before, if something happens in this studio now as an emergency, I can't follow this door out. I must look for a way out if I have the wherewithal to move even through the roof. So as it is in Rivers State, we have played the ostrich, because when it favors us, we close our eyes to say, oh, it doesn't matter, let it continue. And now some people have been favored now. Don't believe it or not. This emergency rule now is favoring some people. So now they also play the ostrich, not look at what is going wrong. So for me, what we should be fighting now is now how to restore democratic rule in Rivers State. But whether you like it or not, emergency rule will never follow the proper way of the law.
All right, so what would you also make of these claims also that Lere Olayinka also made, claiming that during his tenure he had these bush boys, he referred to them as bush boys, those, militants and all of that, operating in Rivers State?
I was in Rivers State as of then. What Olayinka is doing now is attacking Rufus George during his tenure as Rivers State government. It may be right, it may be wrong. But for me, let me say this, I'm not to pitch tent with anybody. For now, what I should pray is, can we resolve this matter? Because if we use the constitution to do what we have done, can we, in a way, review what has been placed in Rivers State?
So, as a political analyst, would you say perspective, would you rather, advise the former governor to, pour water, on the surface, the hot surface as it's going now, or to calm down the situation and not just giving out statements, to look for possible ways to see a way of, cooling down the rancor in Rivers State now, in the political sphere in Rivers State?
Definitely that's what I should be talking here. Because whether we believe it or not, the window of peacemaking is still available, because the 6 months is yet to come to an end. But it's subject to review.
Okay.
So what I feel that the other judge and all others should look for a way. It can also be a breach. Oh, come on, even before the 6 months, we have made the condition. Please, Mr. President, and whatever apparatus used to declare state of emergency, can we in a way put them in order and say we have lifted or suspended the state of emergency placed on Rivers State? It can be done. It's a human error. Even naturally, we can also correct things that are not in order. Today, in some parts of the world, they have made sea land. Are you aware? Some places like the Suez Canal, there was a kind of a blockade. They have opened up to give way for ship passage. So what I mean that it is not even Persian law can also be amended when there's an emergency. So I just pray that politicians in River State, if actually they are interested in the development of River State and the people, now is the time to come together and say, look, can we join? Because I was told in politics, there's no permanent enemy, no permanent friend. You can offend somebody, and I believe this is the time that we can look at our wrongs and say, look, I've heard here, let's correct it here, and move forward as a state, because whether you believe it or not, it is not heavy. All right. Politically in River State, as we are sitting down here.
Well, that's
so we need peace.
Okay.
We need reconciliation move to make sure that both parties, the side of Governor Simba and the side of the former governor of River State, Nyesom Wike, should come together and build. Mind you, I have thought of somewhere.
Okay.
It was the effort of Wike that brought Sim. Sim was in PDP. Wike up to now is despite whatever people insinuation, still says it's in PDP. So what is wrong in PDP that they cannot come together and also amend their offenses and move us forward? So that's my take on it for now. Please let there be peace, and the people who are agitating should look at it now that there is no law.
All right. So what would you think that the now Minister of FCT can do, Nyesom Wike, as regards to this issue going on in order to calm down the situation or to reconcile? And because obviously the reason why the state of emergency is being declared is for, peace and order to be restored in River State in terms of the political, sphere. But what would be your advice for the FCT Minister?
Well,
now?
If you want me to tell my advice, before now there was issue of agreement or no agreement.
Okay.
But despite that, now that everything has gone to ground zero in River State, because democratic principle has been suspended in River State, whether you believe it or not, by virtue of declaration of a state of emergency.
All right.
So what I feel, we must also consider our own decision made before now. Can we review it? I mean, whatever a decision agreement made between Nyesom Wike and Fubara, can we come together behind the closed door? Okay. That we don't see, because when they also met to declare him the governor, the governorship aspirant of PDP, I was not there.
All right.
So if there's misunderstanding now, they have their own food. I don't have full number of Wike. I don't have full number of Sim. It can be resolved. Right. But for me, it will be so foolhardy that after 6 months, it will be foolhardy that after 6 months, there will be another 6 months to continue. It will be foolhardy. So for me, within this period, can we move? Wike, please, can you suspend that? So the thing that maybe Sim did not agree with you, please, and you Sim. So the thing that you can do for. So but it is against the law. That's what I'm saying. All right. By way of law, we don't need by the state leadership or by government. There's no need to negotiate how to rule River State. Okay. But that's the place we are come to see today.
All right.